the warfare was real. So his wife came about. God gave me the title his wife. God, that was something that even in my coaching business is how I reference the ladies, and how I reference just my coaching curriculum that I have. His wife was, a lot of times when we think about marriage, you think about, a wife being married to her husband, and, okay, I'm his wife. But one of the things that God had pointed out to me was, I need you to be a representative of me in your marriage. And because you're a representative of me, you're not just your husband's wife, you are the bride of Christ. And so because you are the bride of Christ and you're operating as the bride of Christ, you are my wife. So you are his wife. So that's why I highlighted in that sense where, we're operating not just as a Christian wife, but we're also operating as representatives of Christ. And so that's what the book is kind of like. That's where it kind of starts at, basically saying that, your happy ever after may have turned into something, totally upside down. God has, brought a halt to things in your marriage because he's trying to get your attention. A lot of wives, a lot of, couples, they enter into marriages without knowing their purpose, without knowing, their assignments, without knowing, what God has called them to. They have this idea of what marriage is supposed to look like and that type of thing. And a lot of times they're unaware of, the things that God is calling them to. And so I try to, in the book, just really explain to, wives, you may be going through a difficult season in your marriage, but that difficult season is for God to get your attention because he has other earthly assignments for you to do. He has other earthly things for you to attend to. And I always reference, going back to the story, in Genesis where, Adam and Eve, when, he said, let me put Adam to sleep. Let me get her and work on her. And I'm going to bring her back to you. And so in a sense, when, you're going through a separation, that's what God is doing. He's putting he's allowing that separation to take place while he worked on, you individually to, get you to a place where he needs you to be. Because your marriage, a lot of times when wives are going through separation, they think that, okay, well, God's going to start our marriage. He's going to bring us back together. We're going to be happy ever after again, and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, this is not about your husband or your marriage. This is about your relationship with Christ and what he's trying to do in you and get you to see and build up that relationship that he wants to have with you. So that's basically what the book is about.
Hashtag his wife.
Hashtag his wife. Come on, Jesus.
I love it. I love it. So one of the things I like that you said is that he put Adam to sleep and he said, let me work on you, Eve. Right.
Work on you, Eve.
So when you think about that, for me, when you said that, it resonated because I'm thinking like, okay, God can't work on you because I need Adam to be asleep and out of the way because your focus is gonna be on him. Your focus is gonna be on what he did, what he didn't do, and everything. So I love that. Let me put Adam to sleep and work on you. Hashtag his wife.
Exactly. Right. And many times this is what's happening. These husbands are spiritually asleep. These husbands have, they have spiritually fell asleep. They're spiritually, shut off. They're not in tune with the things of the Lord. And so, of course, when God created Eve, he created Eve to be what? Her, the helper of him. Yes. And so it's like, I'm going to use you to be his helper. I need you to be a healthy, healed, whole helper to be able to help him. Otherwise, you will bring more damage to this man than good. Yes. You will cause more damage to him than good. And so I need you to now look inwardly at yourself and see, how have you contribute to the breakdown of this marriage? How have you contribute to the separation? How have you contribute to things going, sour in this marriage? I don't want you to focus on him. We're gonna get to that part. I'm gonna have my own encounter with him. But right now, I'm focused on you, the wife, because you are the bride of Christ, a representative of me. And because wives, the Bible tells us that, and I think 1 Corinthians 7, that a wife can sanctify her husband. That to sanctify her husband, in order for you to be that sanctification that you need to be for your husband, you need to be in a healthy, healed place yourself. You need to have your own personal relationship with Christ. You need to be able to operate in a way where you are putting your whole dependence on the Lord and not necessarily your husband. And so many wives get caught up in my husband, my man, where they are focusing only on the marriage and the things of the natural. And God's like, I'm trying to show you something so much bigger. So when we go to, 1 Peter 5, it talks about, a wife, she can win her husband over. She can win her husband over, just by by, you know, her silence, by her, you know, how she's acting, how she's responding. She can win her husband over, you know, being a daughter of Sarah.
Yes.
This is one of the things that I'm trying to, you know, help wives to, you know, see. You need to get yourself built up in the Lord. You need to get your relationship with God right, so that you be able to be what you need to be when God goes and wake up Adam and say, hey, here is your wife that I'm bringing to you. Here's your helper that I'm bringing back to you. Yes, ma'am.
I absolutely love it.
Come on, Jesus.
And we as wives, we get right. How do we contribute to that? Because we contribute to the breakdown, the hurt, the disappointment, and are you a wife or you're a knife? Right. There's a book that I read a long time ago. And you know, are you a butter knife? Or are you gonna just, you know, slap them? Okay. Or are you a steak knife? You're gonna cut them up because we hold that power.
Right.
Oh, you know, and so we're in covenant, and he holds that power too. So you're in covenant, and there is a power that you guys hold as a married couple. Love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sharing that, because that is so simplistic. And so, hey, wives, hey, check it out. If you go and you need a wife coach, a wife coach, or wives, she do groups and all. So I gotta add something else new to her plate. But if you need a wife coach, Tanika is the one. Oh my gosh.
Buoyancy,
girl, out. Help me, buoyancy. I got stuff. But yes, if you guys need a coach, a wife coach, please look her up. And we have all her information here at Authentic Love Marriage Moment. Now, you know what that's right. Tell us about your women's conference that's coming up April 26th through the 28th.
Yes,
this
ma'am.
year.
Yes. This year. So it kind of goes back in tune with the book. So last year, I want to say it was in August. The Lord had been weighing on me really, really heavy. Like, you got to get this book out. Like, you got to get this book out. And, you know, he was really, really like just on me. You know how sometimes you know that you're supposed to be doing something, but you've been trying to put it off, and it just kind of gets stronger and stronger. And so I kept on saying, like, God, like, I don't even know how to do this. What you mean? Like, I don't know who I need to talk to. I don't know how to do no book stuff. I don't know how to do this. Well, my sister-in-law had just recently wrote her own children's book. And so I really, and I had her come on with a group of ladies, you know, in my entrepreneurship mentorship. I had her come on and share with the ladies, and the Lord was like, there you go, right here. Like, this is what it is. And so she was the one who actually kind of like helped me to do it. Like, I had all the information. It was like, God was like, you have everything that you need for the book. All you need to do now is just put the book together. And so he was like, you got to get this book out before this year is out. Like, you got to get this book out. And so he was really, really weighing in on me about doing this book. So we finally got through the book. And then right after that, I'm thinking, okay, whoo, I got the book done. We good, God. Like, you know, I did what you told me to do. Let's go. Like, what's next? Then he stopped to me. Now it's time for you to do the retreat. I said, I'm sorry, come again. Like, now I need you to do this. And so I had a sunflower party a few years ago before me and my husband was separated for 2.5 years. And so the Lord had placed in my spirit during that time for me to have this sunflower party for all the people that had been helping me, for all the people that had been, you know, encouraging me on my journey, for all the people that, you know, had really, really been walking with me for those 2.5 years. He said, you're going to have a birthday party. It's going to be a sunflower birthday party. And at this party, it's not about you receiving gifts, but it's about you giving gifts to them. And you're going to speak to these women and tell these women and share with these women the reasoning. You know, you're going to just pretty much thank them for what they have done and what they have been to you, you know, on these last, you know, these 2.5 years. I didn't know God was setting me up for promotion during that time. I didn't know that, okay, God was preparing me that, you know, you are transitioning now into a new place. And now, you know, you're getting ready to, you know, close the chapter of this. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate what y'all was getting ready to do. And, you know, shortly after that, my husband ended up coming back home. You know, my husband ended up reaching out to me. I had no idea what God was doing in that time. Okay. So when he told me, you know, you're going to do something very similar to that, you know, for this retreat, I need you to take the lead on this. I need you to go gather up, you know, women who are coaches, gather up women who are, you know, able to speak to women from different areas. Grief coach. We have grief coaches, wellness and beauty coaches, fitness coaches, marriage and relationship coach. We have marriage and relationship coach. Come on, Jesus. We have a divorce and life coach there. We have our ordained minister. We have a self-care strategist. And so he was telling me that I needed to gather up these people to bring us all together and not just have a wise, retreat, but to actually have a women's retreat. And the goal of the retreat is to pour into these women as they're transitioning. And so the sunflower is a representative of, you want to give these ladies flowers as they transition, because ladies been getting really, hit hard. And so this is a time in the season where I want to use you to pour into these women, get these coaches and help them to pour into these women in areas that these ladies may have been struggling through and navigating through. And they can know that, you can get through this. There is glory on the other side. There is light after this. Give them their flowers as they're transitioning. Give them their flowers. Give them that grace. One of the things I always highlight to my, wife clients is, be gracious to yourself. Don't beat yourself over the head because, man, I've been going through this hard season. I've been dealing with this hard stuff, but actually be gracious to yourself. And so the retreat is to really, really pour into women who have been dealing with things for a long period of time. 2 years, 3 years. They've been dealing with, lack of self-care. They've been dealing with, mental and emotional distress. They've been dealing with, maybe some physical issues, woman issues. I have 2 physicians that will be there who will be able to speak from a physician perspective. Who may be like dealing with, hormone stuff. They may be dealing with some, chemical imbalances, the importance of taking care of yourself, because if you're not taking care of yourself, it can lead to high blood pressure, diabetes, all these types of things. And then to have a self-care strategist there to really speak to the importance of self-care. So the retreat is really to pour into women in areas that they may have been struggling with, whether it's relationship challenges, marriage challenges, maybe they just got a divorce, maybe they're dealing with grief or loss, maybe they're dealing with some type of long-term, women's health issue, or, just a long-term situation that they've been dealing with. And they feel like, when is this going to come to an end? Like, when is this going to come to an end? And so to put coaches in place, guest speakers in place, to be able to pour into these women and say, this will come to an end. There is light after this. There is glory after this. And so that's basically what the retreat is all about. Teaching wives, teaching women how to retreat themselves, teaching them how to get back to their whole, healthy, healed self. Get them in alignment with the Lord, get them, rejuvenated, get them renewed, reclaim their life, get back the things that they have lost, help them to walk into a season of restoration and know that there is good on the, on the other side of this.
I absolutely love it. So, one of the things that, I heard you say about, having, self-care, and one of the things that brings me into, remembrance of is, we have compassion for a lot of people, right? And because we have compassion for a lot of people, what about having self-compassion?
Come on.
It falls with self-love. It falls with self-care, but it's sometimes we don't have that compassion for ourselves. And have that self-compassion where we can place your hand over your heart and say, Alicia, I love you this morning. Yeah. And look in the mirror and really feel it, right?
Feel that.
When you say that, and you say that to yourself, all your cells, your whole body, your mind is coming into alignment, right?
Alignment.
So have self-compassion. We as women, as women, as wives, as mothers, daughters, teachers,
a lot of hats.
All of that, all the hats we carry. Have self-compassion for yourself. Right.
That's right.
Now, another thing, tell us, do you have a website where they, because we're going to also have the information there, but where can they go to sign up? And then also, where is your book located before we close?
Gotcha. So they can go to eventbrite.com or the link that you would share. They can